Hello, this is the Pulsing Reviews with your host, the newbie from Outdoors, otherwise known as the nfromo or nfromo. Today's game on the review block is a 2017 JRPG from Tokyo RPG Factory, known as the Lost Sphear. They're a division under Square Enix. We're going to start with talking about the game. The gameplay has 3 difficulty settings, but I play on the easiest difficulty because I wanted to enjoy my time. And I believe most Japanese RPGs specifically, don't need a difficulty setting versus Western RPGs. I just feel with Japanese RPGs need one difficulty setting and not complicated, because it slowly gets harder because they're a long play style. I don't believe that with Western RPGs for some reason, but my take on Japanese RPGs, they should have one difficulty setting that slowly ramps up. In this game, there are options to disable movement and battle animations in battle. There are artifacts in the game that basically gives you buffs in 2 categories, which are buffs that affect the whole world and buffs that affect locally. That's a confusing part for me with this game. It doesn't tell you, it doesn't show you, it doesn't explain that to you. You have to figure it out on your own. Sometimes you miss it. There should have been a better indicator, like a color, some type of indicator that tells you. It says world local, but it does this. I slowly missed it, because when you place it, there should be like a marker that tells you it's local. Like there's a marker on the top right. There should be a marker on the top right that shows it's active or something if it's local. And world, it should be like a marker at the bottom right or top right or 2 rows. You know what I mean? Like there should be some sort of marker. It didn't have that, which was annoying. The food system in this game is outright garbage, bro. Trash. Zibbin. It's useless. Sad to say, it's useless in the overall scheme of the game, especially playing on easy or normal. Unless it's pretty much useless. I only did it because I needed to get the platinum trophy. Beyond that, it's pretty much useless. In my opinion, it's useless. There are 2 gameplay modes in this game: semi-active and active. We know what semi is, guys. It's turn-based. If you press attack, the enemies wait your turn. If you go back and you're not selected anything, the enemies will attack you. In active, or you attack or not. There is a system called momentum where you can basically, it's like buffs, like an event skip feature that goes from 2 or times 16. Kind of weird that you can't use it to control normal gameplay so you can grind easier, but they do have a type of artifact that does it and that you can defeat them. But it's still weird. This game has a skill system because it's turn-based. Very simple. It's not developed, in my opinion. Everyone has a couple of skills, like 8 to 10, but it's very simple. It's not complex. Combat is like an average turn-based RPG that you find everywhere. Nothing noteworthy. You'll probably find in the previous entry of games in general, like JRPG games in the past, almost have the same combat as this game. One thing good about this game is you can beat it in the high 50s. The issue with this enemy, there's not too many versatility of enemies. By that I mean you almost have the same option of enemies. There's not a lot of, I think versatility is the correct word, but you know what I mean. There's not a lot of options for these enemies. Like there's not a lot of different enemies that appear throughout the game. They're usually reskinned once you get throughout the halfway of the game. The bosses multiple bosses were different because it's easy to have multiple different bosses, stuff like that. There is post-game stuff. I did it. I fought it. I fought one of the post-game bosses. I just had no point. It was It didn't feel like post-game. When I do post-game, I like cutscenes and stuff like that. I just don't like an extra dungeon. I don't like recycled enemies. Honestly, there's only one armor. There's 2 armor sets that are pretty good. And the first armor set you get in the game is the armor you keep. Like the first one you get, right? You upgrade that, and you're solid for the rest of the game. You don't need to buy any more armor. It uses an upgrade system. It's a pretty simple upgrade system, let's be honest. Skills can be upgraded with buffs using momentum, which is like when you attack, you get a bar you keep attacking or waiting. You can press square on the PlayStation X on the Xbox, and you get these options to upgrade with buff. And each momentum skill can go up to a stack of 4. You can get 4, 4, and 2. You can get 4, 4, and 2. The gameplay is more the same. You have already experienced in some shape or form if you play a lot of JRPGs. Nothing different, nothing revolutionary, nothing that stands out from the crowd of turn-based JRPGs that's coming out. I value JRPGs or RPGs on the determinants of playability. Is it fun to play, or is it a slog to get through? And this game does the bare minimum with its gameplay mechanics. It does the bare minimum. It doesn't change a lot. It has some good points, but I had to rate it at 1 out of 2.5 for this section. It's just not there. Okay, guys, let's talk about the story and what I feel about the story. The story of this game, how would you say? Average, but it's passable. You have the way you deal with this game. The game starts up. You have the story of the game. How would I say it's average at best. You start out the game finding someone fighting and stuff like that. Then you get memory abilities where it shows you restore memories. You find out early on about circumstances like a passing comment on your childhood friend, which is weird. I found that weird, in my personal opinion. Except for one of the characters, most of the side characters I'm uninterested in. They didn't have enough story that I actually care about. Either vengeance, or death, or A, or B, or C. There's nothing. And it's a cliche-ass story, bro. Cliche-ass. It's cliche, bro. Cliche from the top to the bottom. It started off good. I was interested in the memory. I say 10 hours in. Let's say 10 hours in, right? Cliche. Became so cliche, I just want to finish it because my view on playing games, I get the platinum and I review games. The side characters, yep. The specific character question, which a couple of them were the highlight of the game. There are two endings of this game. One's more or less good, one's more or less maybe good. It's your personal opinion. Yeah, I rate it as a 1.5. It's average as hell and cliche as hell. Okay, let's talk about the audio. It's gonna be short and sweet. The audio in the game for RPG was pretty good. It was decent. It fit most of the scenes, the battle scene, because when you have battle dialogue in this game, Japanese battle dialogue, which is weird. If you're gonna have Japanese battle dialogue, have English battle dialogue. Don't treat the Western audio as a second-class citizen. There's this whole audio sync issue. Every loaded screen, audio sync issues. You assume you're gonna crash, and not just that. You go from stone to grass. Audio sync issues. It's not automatic. When you're that close, it should be automatic. What's going on with your back and that there's an issue there? What are you loading? You're not loading that much. It should be already loaded. Do you have a delay? How big is your delay? I understand it's 0.01 second to give the illusion of stepping between two surfaces to give the 3D illusion, but it shouldn't take that long. One time it took 5 to 10 seconds for me to load, and I thought my game was about to crash. And this happens often. There's an issue there. If I'm thinking my game is about to crash, I'm getting anxiety because this game has no autosave. Oh, it does not have autosave, and I'm having anxiety. And you are assuming, am I supposed to assume always anxiety because I'm thinking about to crash? No. The audio deserves a 1.5 out of 2.5 score for this section. The only reason it's not 0.5 is because the audio is pretty decent. If they fix these issues, it would have been pretty bomb. Performance of the game was an A to S tier. I couldn't tell if it ran 30 to 60. I think it ran 30, but the frame timing, the frame pacing, no delays. You shouldn't have that much issue with the turn-based game. Didn't lag at all. Yeah, it didn't lag at all. It deserves a 2.5. The price of this game is at, I thought it was $39.99 or MSRP. No, it's $49.99 MSRP. This suffers from the same issue as I Am Setsuna. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you charging $50 for a mediocre-ass game? Barely a mediocre-ass game. This game should have max $15. $15 to $20. Right, for this title, especially in 2017. It should have never been $50. What the f*** are you? What's wrong with you? What's I'm flabbergasted. I'm literally flabbergasted. I'm subtracting 2 from the overall score for the price point. They're trying to milk their audience that want JRPGs, but they're not delivering on the quality. They're not delivering on that quality of JRPGs. This is why their company is failing right now. This is why they're in the net zero, because who's gonna pay $50 for it? I'm glad I didn't pay any money for this game. I got it through PS Extra. Well, I did pay money, but you guys know what I mean. In conclusion, this game sits in an average score of 4.5 because of the story, gameplay, and audio all had issues. While the performance was good, the price point was ridiculous for selling for even that much, even after the whole I Am Setsuna debacle. While I Am Setsuna, with I Am Setsuna people arguing it's worth around the $15 to $20 range, you had this issue, and you had the issue with Oronaki. I don't understand. I literally do not understand. Why are you like this? Understand, quality determines price. Jedi Survivor didn't deserve a $70 price tag. In my opinion, it's a $30 to $40 game. Fix the performance, maybe 50, but it's nowhere near 70. I'm done. This is worth a 4.5. This is nfromo. This game.